Hey, my name is Micki Angeles. I'm the host of the Simply Put podcast.
What's good, guys? I'm the VP of the Simply Put podcast. My name is Fred Niones, a.k.a. Angelo.
So today we're going to discuss The Flash, Season 1, Episode 13, The Nuclear Man. The Nuclear Man episode gives us a story of Ronnie Raymond, a.k.a. Firestorm, and his bonding with Dr. Stein during the particle accelerator accident. This episode also gives us the sweet lovins of the Scarlet Speedster on his first date with Linda Park.
Ooh.
And maybe a fallout from Iris.
Yeah.
And it also clues us into what may have actually happened in the Allen household during the murder of Barry's mom.
Oh, snap.
So before we get started, I have to say that The Flash has probably had the best inaugural season of any genre TV show ever. It gives us a lot of depth in the characters. It gives us story and plot, and it also gives us fun fan service that anybody could really appreciate, especially me, a big comic book fan, and not really being a big total fan of The Flash, just knowing of him. I'm so hooked with Grant Gustin in this role he has here.
And this first season is reminding me of the hype of Heroes' first season, where everyone was just kept talking about it.
Definitely.
From like fanboys to just regular people like you guys watching right now. It's just bringing us together, and just that team over there in The Flash is just knocking out the park every single week.
So getting into our overall comments, I have to say this episode knocks it out of the park for me. One of the best episodes in 3 different levels. We get great story between this Joe and Cisco buddy cop.
My favorite part.
That explains pretty much the through line between Joe's accusation, I would say, to Harrison Wells being the murderer of Barry's mom. We also get the love relationship between Barry and Linda Park, which is to me one of the outstanding stories within this episode. And also we get the flashback to Ronnie Raymond and Dr. Stein, and also we get a flashback with Dr. Stein actually meeting Barry at in the train, I guess.
The train
the train on their way to work, and discussing the particle accelerator opening.
And that flashback was so seamless, which they do great in Arrow, and now that I love like they're kind of incorporating in the Flash and like key moments to push the story forward.
And it's cool how they quote Albert Einstein, but in like 2 levels. They do it in a geeky way, in a scientific way, but they also do it in how fun-loving Albert Einstein is, and how he had a big sense of humor, and how he believes that science and humor correlate with each other with new findings and new discoveries, which to me is what sums up The Flash as a TV show as a whole. It's science and humor perfectly matched together. It's the Albert Einstein of movies. I mean, TV shows.
I agree.
The Barry and Linda Park relationship on their first date and their second date, which got hot and heavy. A little bit of innuendo when they started making out at Joe's place.
He just started vibrating.
I don't know, ladies. It feels good, she says. And also the callbacks between their first date and
the hot peppers.
With the hot peppers, and then the ghost chili.
Yeah.
Oh man, the ghost chili in the end, which kind of sums up their relationship as far as where it's moving forward. We had a fallout with Iris because Iris apparently still has feelings for Barry.
I think they gotta get rid of those love triangles for right now, like because we have so much to digest in this first season. I would hope they just slow burn that. Like, all right, just give it to us this episode, and then just put it on the back burner. Just go like, and then if they have to bring up the other 2 ladies, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a date with her, or I'm gonna meet Iris later to help her with her job, something like that. Because Iris, we know she eventually becomes like the Lois Lane, but as an anchor woman instead of a journalist. So hopefully they show that in future episodes as well.
And one thing they did show in this episode was the humanity of Harrison Wells. Throughout the entire season, we've been seeing a dark version of Professor Wells, or Dr. Wells, whatever he's called. And we get to see his humanity of him being jealous of Dr. Stein and his accolades. And during the end of the episode, they figure out that Ronnie and Dr. Stein have unstable chemistry within their body.
So he's going to blow up.
And then we get to see Harrison Wells give the tachyon particle, which he was trying to harness the Speed Force with, and gave it to a different device to save
Ronnie,
Dr. Stein, and basically the entire Central City. Which
this guy continued.
It kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, wow, this story keeps amazing me with these little hints of who done it.
No,
you know
man.
I mean? It's like the movie Clue. It's like the board game Clue, like who done it.
Every week every time I see Harrison Wells on TV, I scream at my television, "Who are you, bro?" Every week I'm confused. Like, he's a bad guy, but he's a good guy. Like, it's gonna be very interesting to see how they're gonna eventually reveal him to be the man in yellow.
To me, I feel like he is the Reverse Flash.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely the Reverse Flash. But what this TV show definitely does in a great fashion is combining storylines, combining characters. In the comic books, we know that there's multiple versions of the Reverse Flash with Professor Zoom, Eobard Thawne. What I'm getting to at is Harrison Wells could be a mixture of Thawne's character as well as Professor Zoom. Professor Zoom wants Barry to be at his pinnacle peak because he feels that the reason that he's alive is to make Barry hit the best as he can. And I still believe that there's a rogue Yellow Flash, which we're not sure what's going to happen with, is still roaming around.
I think that's Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, full blown.
Yeah, full blown. Yeah, Reverse Flash that we've seen in like the Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah, in the animated series.
Did you catch that hint when they were in that scene with Dr. Wells and Caitlin Snow in the van, and he goes like, he just wants to go home. Everybody wants to go home. So, and, I think that was like the allusion to, at the end of the episode, we find out that it was Barry's blood they found on the wall, and it was an adult Barry.
Oh, let's set that up. So basically, Joe and Cisco go into the old house of the Allens to kind of figure out what really happened into that place. So Cisco does a super light, he calls it. Everything's changed actually until they see the mirror, which has silver nitrate, which got very sciencey with me. But then it basically took a picture of that episode,
and it was 10 pictures
because of the lightning that they produced during the fight. And then there was one thing that Joe noticed, that there was blood spilled on the wall. Say the carpet, but the wall.
Yeah. And then they peeled back the wallpaper. Yeah. And they found 2 sets of blood, and one was like AB negative and one was like AB positive. Yeah, something like that.
And we find out that one of the blood particles is a future Barry.
Exactly. Which this man predicted, by the way.
I predicted, but you know what? Like what we've been seeing with superhero news breaks and rumors, it's not really breaking it. You're taking the storyline and you're trying to.
Well, you decoded it first.
Yeah, you try to decode it. I would say that I decoded that there's multiple Flash. What do we feel about time travel being introduced in the Flash, where we've seen that time travel and any genre could be very menacing or conflicting?
I think they've been hinting at it all season that they're gonna do like a Flashpoint storyline.
Yeah,
where he probably goes back in time. He actually saves his mom.
Yeah, and
the future changes, and like you said, maybe instead of Iris, it's really Wally that he's like friends with. And even in the Flashpoint comic, Barry was gay, so then maybe they could like have a relationship, Wally and Barry. So I don't know where they're gonna go with this.
Well, if you guys know, you guys let us know. So that's going to conclude our review of The Nuclear Man from The Flash. My name is Micki Angeles. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at McCertified.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Fred_N.
Peace. Check us out on our website, www.simplyputtalk.com.
And follow us on Instagram.
And peace again.